Here's a little story about our chipmunk. My husband decided that the cats needed some outside time. I always fear putting the cats out because every outside cat I've ever known gets eaten by coyotes. We compromised on the inside-outside thing and decided that they could go outside only if we watched them and only during the day. Quick note about me and animals. I'm often called Snow White. Picture a woman sitting in a meadow with a cute little raccoon in her lap, a bunny in her arms, a tiny frog on her knee, a little bird circling around, and 2 chipmunks sitting on her head. Can you visualize that? Well, that's me. In reality, I have 2 pups, 1 old dog, 2 cats, 1 canary, 2 goats, and a chicken. And whenever possible, I befriend all the wild animals I can. I feed the wild ducks, birds, squirrels, and chipmunks, you name it. I'm a disaster in the animal department. I love them all. I'd feed the deer too, but that's where my husband draws the lines. Anyway, back to the cat story. We put my cats outside for the first time and they were in kitty cat heaven. I was a nervous wreck, not because I was afraid that my obese cats would become coyote snacks, but I feared for the lives of all my little wild animal friends outside. I was hopeful that they would be safe since, as I mentioned, my cats are fat, and I assumed their blubber bellies would weigh them down and make them slow and keep them from jumping into the air to catch wild birds mid-flight. I was wrong. Cats, even my sweet fat babies, are ruthless, brutal hunters with absolutely no regard for the cute fluffiness of my wild friends. This is a horrifying fact when you've named and bonded with every critter on your 20 acres. I tried to be a big girl and go about my business outside, and that's when it happened. I heard a squeal for help. I ran toward the squealing and the cats, and then realized as I was running toward them that Rex, my naughty boy cat, was torturing a baby chipmunk. I was able to pry the little fella out of Rex's mouth, and to my surprise, there wasn't a scratch on him. He was a very new baby chipmunk, so of course I was obligated to bottle feed and raise him until he was strong enough to survive on his own. My daughter Chloe dashed to the pet store, got some puppy replacement formula and a tiny bottle, and we raised him. At first I kept him in a shoebox and then moved him into an old sugar glider cage that I had in the barn. I carried him around in my pocket and I took him out to play on the grass. My daughter Chloe, who is Snow White the Second, helped me raise the little guy. We named him Saffron Butt. I think it was a wine-induced brainstorming session with Nate, Chloe's boyfriend, when we came up with that genius name. In a few weeks, he was strong enough to be on his own. He was strong and sassy and restless, and I could tell that he was ready to explore the big bad world of the cottage garden. He actually started to seem like he was going a little crazy in his cage, too. So I fed him his favorite avocado treat and gave him a big fat kiss on his soft and sassy head. And then I mustered the courage to set him free in my cottage garden. He looked around and he looked back at me as if to say, "I got this, Mom," and he booked it out of there with vigor. He looked like a happy little camper with his instincts kicking in. He buried the peanut I gave him and scurried into the hostas. As he disappeared, I cried. I'm going to miss him, I thought, and that was that. I was sure that he would be gone forever. I sat in my garden for quite a while, hoping to catch a glimpse of him dashing about. But Saffron Butt vanished. I was heartbroken, but I was happy that I did the right thing and set him free. All day, I came back to the garden and looked up and down the paths in hopes that he would poke his happy little head out of the flowers or pop onto my potting bench. But there was really no sight of him. The next day, there he was, inside his little swing snacking. I was so happy. "Well, hello, Saffron, are you hungry?" It could not have been more perfect. He was absolutely thriving on his own, yet he still came around to say hello and beg for food. It's funny how they just know what to do and they don't really need us at all. I think I needed him more than he needed me. The dogs absolutely love Saffron, a little too much. I have to be careful when I take the dogs outside because Saffron will run right up to me, dogs and all. I kind of think Bailey loves Saffron the most, but they're all pretty interested. Saffron's been known to peek in the patio window and beg for peanuts, if we neglect him for too long. He has climbed onto my husband's lap as he's tried to enjoy his morning coffee and conduct business on our front porch. Chloe can go outside and call him and he'll come running. We've all bonded with little Saffron. He is a super cool critter. He isn't really picky about his humans and will climb up any human who is available. He has no fear and likes anyone who will feed him. At our summer party, I felt the need to make a sign that said, "Beware of Saffron the Chipmunk. He will steal your food and your heart, and please don't step on him." Saffron did some major begging right before the winter hit. He stuffed his little chipmunk cheeks full of peanuts, certainly enough to get him through the winter. We really hope that he has built a nice warm shelter to get him through the winter. Of course, I'm tempted to bring him in the house for the winter to keep him warm, but my husband reminded me about instincts. You know, that animals actually have them and they don't really need Jill to rescue them all. I'm sure he'll be okay, but we'll wonder and worry. As of today, midwinter, we haven't seen Saffron for over a month. We're hoping in springtime he'll come back and be his old begging self. We miss him. I'll keep you guys posted on any Saffron sightings. Fingers crossed, friends.